All right, you're watching live visuals from the voting process where delegates are casting their votes for whom they prefer to be the flag bearer of the People's Democratic Party in the next presidential election taking place in 2023. And it's happening live in Abuja. We're bringing you live updates of what is going on. We've been doing this. Our correspondents are there. And we've been having analysts, giving us perspectives to what all of these things mean and implications and permutations and how these are going to impact the outcome of what the election is going to be. So let me introduce my guests now. I have Opunabo Inkataria, political analyst, joining us from Port Harcourt. It's good to have you join me right now, Opunabo.
Good evening, and good evening, Nigeria.
Good evening.
It's a pleasure to be with you tonight.
Right, you're welcome. Then I have joining me on Zoom from Abuja, Dr. Adesina Fagbenro-Byron. He is a PDP Chieftain. It's nice to have you join me, Dr. Byron.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you very much for having me.
Great. All right, now let me start from Abuja for obvious reasons. I know you've been following this development, how the voting process is going on, but talk to me basically, how satisfied, let me ask that first, when it comes to the process, the organization, the coordination, the cohesion, from what you are seeing and what you have seen so far, how satisfied are you with the conduct of the the convention going on right now?
Who goes first?
Byron, I was asking, Dr. Byron, let me ask you this first.
Yeah. Well, I think you see the conduct of the primaries has been exemplary, well organized. I think the venue itself has helped. It's indoors, but it's spacious. I think the organizers under Senator Mark have done quite a professional job. I think the governors Doye and Okowa have superintended and monitored in as transparent a manner as possible. I think the ambience itself is warm. I think the aspirants themselves, they come with a certain positivity, and we're looking and hoping for the best. I like the statement made by Ms. Onwike when he declared that he would support any candidate that wins. I think that is a great tone in the right direction, and I have cause to believe that things will turn out fine.
Okay. But let me come to you on this. Now, the point there is just moments ago, Aminu Tambuwal, governor of Sokoto State, who is also an aspirant in the presidential election, decided to step down. If you go on Twitter right now, Twitter is already agog with reactions to that. Some people feel that he shouldn't have come to this level before he decides whom he's going to throw his support and wait for. But others feel that this is politics. This is just politics, and it is the beauty of it and the game at the highest level. What do you make of that?
Well, excuse me. It didn't come as a surprise to a lot of us. Some of us got wind of it about a day or two ago. And in fact, what we gathered from grapevine, from snippets of information cobbled together, it was supposed to be Tambuwa and Saraki. Probably Saraki reneged and Tambuwa went ahead with the plan. We also gathered from grapevine that there was this understanding, this fact, with Tambuwa, Saraki, and Atiku. And I think basically the party even through the presidential seat open principally because of Atiku. That's my thinking, that's my conviction. I might be wrong because ordinarily it would have been zoned to the south. But they said no. If they now say let it be zoned to the north, it's going to, stimulate some level of Ferrari. So the best way to go about it was to throw it open so that everybody could contest. And that was a mild way of zoning it to the north again. And the Northerners are hell bent on holding on to this power. And so you say Atiku, Saraki, and Tambua, if you recall vividly, they were even almost campaigning together. And they had even agreed that they were prepared to step down for each other into the situation they need arise. And that is exactly what has played out. Now, the issue of whether, when he did it, I don't think, probably he's a politician, so probably for some strategic reasons, so that, others might probably not put on his delegates, or for some strategic reasons. I don't think we should really quibble over why he did, when he did it, and when he didn't do it. He's a politician, and he probably feels or felt when he did it was the best time to do what he did. But the important thing is that he stepped down Atiku and the North wants to retain power. That's just the most important thing we should be discussing, and not why he did it and why he did it.
All right. Now, Dr. Byron, let me take you on from that perspective of the feeling or the thoughts that it is the North wanting to hold on to power. Now, some party chieftains have said earlier, said yesterday, there were some party chieftains who made some analysis here and there, talking about the need to win the election for the party. And they are saying that, they want someone who has what it takes to win the election for the party. So, putting that side by side, what do you think is playing on at this point by throwing this contest open? Is it about winning the election for the party, or a certain region wanting to hold on to power? Because these are different perspectives to it.
Okay. If I may, in the first place, the fundamental concern, the fundamental thing is that in a democracy from contesting. The second thing is that there had been different discussions about zoning or not zoning. Personally, I don't really believe in zoning, except it is to ensure there is inclusion. Now, but I don't believe in zoning if it is just a simple two-zone affair. I would rather have the zoning if it's 6 zones. Now, everyone who is contesting the election has a history and has a reason. I contested for presidency too in 2019, and I had my deep reasons why. I had my agenda. So really, as individuals, we cannot fault anyone for having an ambition or for believing that the solutions to Nigeria's problems are things within his capability, within his desires, within his determination or hers. So for me, there are a lot of dynamics involved. You could say horse trading. Some of the candidates have a longer reputation and a longer history with PDP than others. Some of the candidates are trusted. Some of the candidates have more moral justification than others. And at the end of the day, the race may not be for the fastest or the battle for the strongest, but for every person, time and chance. Now, it is somebody's time now and it is somebody's chance. And really, it is only God, the delegates, and the people that can determine what it is or who it is. So it's about who doesn't blink first. And I think this is why we are where we are.
Oh.
Thank you.
All right, open up, but let me come to you on the issue of voting patterns. You know, at primary elections, of course, only delegates can vote at this point. But what do you think is going to sway the way that people are voting, the voting pattern as to why we should vote for this person or the other person? Because this decision is very critical, because whoever the 811 people come up with automatically becomes the flag bearer, and if the party wins, automatically the person becomes the president. So 811 people at this point could, maybe, at the end of the day, depending on what the outcome is, could decide who the president is. But what do you think is at the core of how the voting pattern is going to flow at this convention?
Well, the truth is that these delegates, I strongly believe, are not even cognizant of the enormous powers they have, that the future of the country lies squarely in their hands apart from God, because they are to decide who eventually will become governors and presidents or senatorial leaders of the country. So, but why I say most times they don't is because the delegates don't vote their conscience. What they do is they are like more or less like liege servants who must respect the liege laws, who are their political godfathers. Take, for example, you have a governor from state A, without mentioning any name now, a governor from state A wanting to become the president. And probably that governor performed abysmally as a governor. But simply because he wants to contest for the presidency, he is going to ensure that the delegates in his state vote for him, almost willy-nilly. And if he impugns your loyalty, definitely it's not going to make a delegate. That is the truth about it. And that's why you find out that even the National Assembly quickly wanted to make an alteration to the Electoral Act on the issue of delegates. But any delegate that is worth his salt, anybody of rectitude, will even agree with the governor to say, or the president, or the senator, or whatever, to say, okay, no problem, so I'm going to vote for you. After a secret ballot, you go there and you vote your conscience. Because at the end of the day, if you vote in somebody that is not capable and does not have the capacity and capability, definitely is going to rub off on you. It's going to have a domino effect. And you cannot be insulated from that maladministration. But they don't think that way. Their own is loyal, 100% loyal. So whether the person is capable or not, just go and vote for that person. And even those that are not contesting, because their friends or colleagues are contesting, they tell their delegate, vote for this man. So it's all about egocentric interest. It isn't about egocentricity. It has nothing to do with altruism. You know, if this man wins, I might likely become the minister, I might likely become the vice president, a running mate, I might likely, those are personal gains and personal interests. And they allow that to outdistance national interest. So that's why I say the delegates, I don't think that they are really aware of the enormous powers they have, and most of them are compromised. Most of them are just politicians willing to do the bidding of their masters.
It's really deep the way you put it, because if they are not conscious of some of these things, and then we expect the general electorates to vote based on ideology and based on who should deliver and all of that, then I wonder who should be thinking about these critical things more than the other.